All right, what up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. I'm here with my dad. We're in Boston, and we just watched Game 4 of the Spurs Thunder series, and we're here to react to it. Also, don't mind the glasses. You know, we got to get our good night's sleep. We got a flight early tomorrow. But, all right, anyway, getting right into it. We'll start with the Spurs. I mean, I don't have too much to say. I would say the big problem for the Spurs was they didn't have an offense they could really go to before this game, especially in Game 3. Wemby wasn't being very aggressive, and their guards just weren't getting it done for them. But I feel like this game with a fully healthy Fox, or at least a semi-healthy Fox, that changed a lot for them. It kind of took a lot of the pressure off of Stephon Castle, and then that allowed them to have a primary ball handler. And then Wemby was getting to his spots. He didn't have an amazing Wemby game, but he still played good for his standards. And even in the third quarter, I was saying this is good for the Spurs because it shows that they can win without Wemby having 40 points. I didn't know at the time, but he had 30 or something. So I'm sure if he played the whole game, he'd have 40. But I mean, it just kind of shows that even Wemby just playing, just kind of doing his role, I mean, he'll still have a great game. So I'd love to hear your thoughts.
So, yeah, just sticking to the Spurs, a couple of things. I know Fox came back the last game, and he kind of tweaked his ankle again. I think the thing he reminded us this game, he put so much pressure on the Thunder defense, or any defense really, just attacking the basket. That was a big difference in this game, and I don't know how he did it because it looked like he really retweaked his ankle the last game, but he came back, and that was a plus for the Spurs. Also, this isn't obvious, but Dylan Harper is playing. He's not playing like a rookie. He doesn't look like a rookie. He looks like a third or fourth year player, and you missed his basket, but he split two defenders in the fourth quarter and finished with a dunk. It wasn't a rookie play. In the way he's playing, he also puts a lot of pressure on the defense. That's two things that they were kind of missing last game from those two in particular. Stephon Castle, his intensity, even Vassell. I mean, those guards, they're just really focused on defense, and they play defense at a high level. But Castle was just playing so hard defensively. What else? Barnes gave him good minutes. I mean, playing like a veteran, playing his role, playing within himself. And Wemby, he had a quiet 33, right? It was he had 33 points and he hardly played in the fourth quarter. It was very quiet. Obviously, they need him because he disrupts the game defensively. So this. I mean, I kind of hedged my bet in predicting the second half because I said if the Spurs could maintain that gap, of course they were going to win it. If it was a close game, I thought the Thunder, SGA and Caruso would be impactful. Obviously, that didn't happen. It was kind of hedging my bet, but it's what the Spurs needed. I think they regained their confidence. I mean, they know what they can do, and if they play that way, it's going to be a tough Game 5. It's going to be a great Game 5, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of just two more things. I mean, to touch on what you said, Stephon Castle just plays so hard on both sides of the floor. And having Fox there really opened up things for him because he really just attacks all the gaps, gets into the paint, makes a read if he has to, throws it up to Wemby if he has to. But, I mean, he just plays so hard, especially guarding Shea, pretty much at half court, every game. And then the one thing is Carter Bryant. I mean, Carter Bryant only played, probably 5 to 10 minutes that game. It wasn't the best showing. He had a few turnovers. He jumps a lot. It would, and especially if you're guarding Shea, a jump is pretty much just 2 free throws. And he needs to definitely work on that. I mean, he's getting better, but I guess it just shows there's really levels to basketball. I mean, 2 years ago, or 3 years ago now, we were playing with him, and he was the best player by far in the court. You watch the game today, honestly, by far the worst player in the court, and that's not even a dig on him. It's just to show how good the Spurs and the Thunder are. But yeah, that's really interesting to me. But moving on to the Thunder. Now, there's a few ways to go about this, but I honestly don't think it's crazy panic mode for the Thunder. I mean, they did lose by 22, which is very uncommon for them. But it's just kind of a perfect storm of things going wrong for them. First of all, they couldn't hit any shots. Caruso couldn't hit. Jalen Williams, man, I mean, like, I don't even know how he hit 5 threes in game 3, but he was just throwing stuff up, airballing. But also not having J-Dub and A.J. Mitchell, two of their biggest offensive guys behind Shea, really slowed things down for them. And it also kind of takes away their secondary ball handler in A.J. Mitchell, especially with no one else really hitting shots. Jared McCain wasn't doing too much as well. I think they'll definitely bounce back in game 5. They definitely... Hopefully, people will be healthy and they can have their full roster, but I don't really have too much to say, and I don't think they're ever going to shoot this poorly again in the series, and I think in Game 5, they'll be okay. But one other thing is that Chet definitely needs to step up. I feel like because he's playing Wemby and he's usually matched up with him, he's almost always, or he is pretty much always, like, kind of the worst player in his matchup. But I feel like he can still find ways to impact the game that he's not really doing, and it feels like he's almost timid to kind of be the type of player he is during the regular season, even though I don't watch too much of the regular season. But I do think he's better than he's been playing, and he just needs that extra confidence to, try to impact the game and play hard like the rest of the Thunder guys do.
Yeah, not too much to add to that. Obviously, they didn't make they weren't hitting their threes. I mean, they had enough good looks. They just weren't knocking them down. I've never been I've never really been high on Jared McCain. I know obviously he's a really good player, and I've been really impressed with him the last couple of games. Well, the last game I was really impressed with him. He didn't play today like he did the last game. Overall, the bench didn't play, weren't knocking down shots, didn't play. I think they missed Mitchell more than anybody.
Yeah.
They need that secondary ball handler to take the pressure off of SGA. And, yeah, like what you said, they need more from Chet. They just need more. I understand, like, Wemby's on the other side, but they need Chet to do more. And hopefully they get that in Game 5. Hopefully it's a good Game 5. I think it will be. But looking forward to that. I think the Thunder will have their home court, and hopefully San Antonio can put together another performance like they did tonight, and it'll be a good Game 5.
Yeah. And then kind of one more thing about the Thunder real quick is I kind of noticed that some of their lineups seemed a little questionable. And what I kind of mean by that is they have such a deep roster, especially this far into the playoffs, that they can kind of mess around with lineups and play different guys, but I feel like some just don't really work for them. I remember there was a time where they don't really have any creators. I mean, obviously all those guys can defend and they can play well, but if Shea's not really in, they don't really have a creator per se, especially if Jerry McCain's not fulfilling that role. And some of just the lineups didn't really make sense to me. I guess that is due to, J-Dub, who is a creator, and A.J. Mitchell, who also can create, or not playing. But maybe some of the lineups need to be tightened up. I do understand the Thunder coach of kind of just testing things out. That's kind of what you do when you have a team as talented as the Thunder. But kind of moving on, we'll go over some of these box score numbers real quick before we wrap this up. We see Chet, 10 points, 3, only on 8 shots attempted, 9 rebounds, 2 assists. Ihart, 12, 6 for 11. Shea, 19, 6 for 15. 7 assists, 4 rebounds. Jalen Williams, 1 for 7 from 3 instead of 5 for 6. Jared McCain, 1 for 10, 0 for 5 from 3. No other really stats. Isaiah Joe played okay, 4 for 9. Kenrich Williams, 3 for 7, not too bad. But yeah, no one really had that standout game. Obviously, Shea played really bad for his Shea game. On the other side of things,
What did Wiggins have?
Aaron Wiggins, 2 for 11, 0 for 4. At the end, they were kind of just throwing shots up, trying to get back into it. But let's see, on the Spurs side, Devin Vassell, 13, 3 for 7, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. He didn't really fill up the stat sheet, but he definitely did have an impact. Julian Champagnie, 1 for 7, 0 for 5. Okay, Victor Wembanyama, 33, 11 for 22, 3 for 7 from 3, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, 3 blocks, plus 29, plus minus. I mean, he had a great game. It's like Stephon Castle, 13, 5 for 11, not too bad, 6 assists, 1 turnover only, which is a big difference. See, De'Aaron Fox, 12, 5 for 13. I mean, just all around a good game from the Spurs. No one had to do too much. No one had to play outside their role. But, yeah, moving into it, let's just go predictions for Game 5. I'll let you start off.
I think it's going to be a tight game. I think hopefully Mitch, I don't know what the extent of the injury is, but the Thunder get Mitchell back. Looks like Fox and Harper, they look good tonight. Like their injuries, obviously they're not 100%, but they're playing and they look good tonight. I think it's going to be a tight game. Obviously, I have to give the nod to the Thunder because of the home court. I think that arena is going to be loud. It's going to be raucous, and I think the Thunder are going to feed off of that. I think the shots that they were missing tonight, they're going to knock down. What's his name? Champagne, right? He was 0 for 7. Like they need more from him. I think when you're playing on the road, guys like that, if he had a bad game at home, it's hard to see how he has a good game on the road. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. So things like that, I think the bench, some of the Spurs bench players aren't going to play as well or step up. So I think the Thunder are going to win. I think it's going to be a tough game, but I think the home court is going to really help them, and they're going to feed off of that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, honestly I have the same thing. I feel like it will definitely be a close game. I think the Thunder will pull it out for probably like 5 or 7 at the end of the day. I think Shea, every time he has a bad game, he always bounces back. He didn't really have, I guess, too much help this game. I mean, he would always make the right pass. He had a few turnovers, but guys just weren't knocking down shots. I just don't see that happening 2 games in a row. Obviously, Caruso has been playing amazing in the first 3 games. So if he can continue that, I don't know. But they just have so many guys that can hit shots. Jared McCain, Isaiah Joe, Lou Dort here and there, all those guys. So I just think the Thunder are going to pull it out. The Spurs can definitely have a chance. They obviously have one of the best players in the world, Wemby, right now. He will be the best player in the world probably next year. But there's that. But yeah, that's pretty much all we got. Stay tuned for our Game 5 analysis, and we'll see you guys in the next one.